Welcome back to Pick 10, where today we explore the most thrilling, mind-bending, and visually striking films of 2025. This year is packed with bold stories, experimental tones, and genre-defining narratives that push Hollywood to new limits. From high-stakes blockbusters to quiet horror gems, here are the 10 must-watch Hollywood movies of 2025. Number 10, Captain America: Brave New World. The next chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe sees Sam Wilson stepping into his full role as Captain America. After the events of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the world is at a delicate tipping point. Political alliances are strained, global instability is growing, and a mysterious new threat emerges from the shadows. Sam, without superpowers but with unwavering conviction, must face both political forces and physical enemies to prove what it truly means to be Captain America. Directed by Julius Ona, the film takes on a darker, more grounded tone compared to previous entries, exploring the burden of legacy and the challenges of leadership. Anthony Mackie delivers a strong performance, bringing grit and depth to the character. While some might miss the larger-than-life elements of earlier MCU films, this installment succeeds through its emotional storytelling and real-world resonance. Number 9, The Gorge. A psychological sci-fi thriller that starts as a slow-burn romance and erupts into visceral horror. The story follows two elite sharpshooters, Levi and Asa, stationed in isolated towers with orders to kill anything that emerges from a mysterious pit called the Gorge. As they grow closer through radio transmissions, their connection is tested when grotesque creatures begin crawling from the abyss. With layers of conspiracy, failed experiments, and suppressed memories, the film transforms into a desperate fight for survival. The Gorge blends genres with style, its early calm and eerie minimalism giving way to jarring action and surreal horror. The chemistry between the leads drives the emotional core, though the tonal shifts may be jarring to some. Still, the film's bold risks, unnerving atmosphere, and ambitious narrative structure make it a standout for fans of hybrid storytelling. Number 8, Companion. Releasing January 31st, 2025. This sci-fi drama takes place in a world where android companions are common, but one man's experience changes everything. After losing his wife, Noah reluctantly purchases a synthetic companion named Lila, who is programmed to replicate emotional intimacy. But Lila begins to question her own reality, leading to a chain of events that uncovers secrets about the artificial intelligence program, including its true purpose. What begins as a quiet exploration of grief slowly evolves into a chilling dystopian mystery. The film is beautifully shot, with understated performances and a haunting score that enhances its meditative tone. It explores themes of memory, artificial identity, and emotional dependence. Companion may feel slow at times, but its deliberate pace pays off in a deeply affecting final act. It's a thoughtful and moving entry into the AI subgenre, with echoes of Her and Ex Machina. Number 7, Final Destination: Bloodlines. In the 6th chapter of the infamous horror franchise, Fate's Game of Death returns, this time with a legacy twist. College student Stephanie Reyes begins experiencing visions of a fatal 1968 structural collapse her grandmother once escaped. Soon after, bizarre accidents begin to occur around her, leading Stephanie to believe that a generational curse is in play. As she races to uncover hidden family secrets and outwit Death's plan, the film delivers the series' trademark chain reaction deaths with renewed creativity and precision. Bloodlines revitalizes the Final Destination formula with sharper direction and a slightly more emotional backbone. While the characters remain secondary to the set pieces, the story's connection to past events adds a chilling sense of inevitability. Fans of the franchise will find familiar pleasures here: elaborate, twisted deaths, and a creeping sense of dread, but also a few surprises that suggest the series is evolving. Number 6, Avatar: Fire and Ash. James Cameron returns to the world of Pandora with a darker, more intense chapter that continues the saga of the Sully family. Set years after the events of The Way of Water, this installment delves into Pandora's volcanic regions, introducing a fire-based Gnostics tribe who live near an active caldera. When new mining operations threaten both the tribe and the planet's ecological balance, old alliances are tested. Jake and Neytiri are forced to form uneasy partnerships with fire warriors who view them with deep suspicion. The visuals, as expected, are jaw-dropping, especially the molten landscapes and bioluminescent lava flora. The action is frequent but not overdone, and this time the emotional stakes feel more personal. While some critics argue the film recycles themes from earlier Avatar entries, Fire and Ash deepens the lore and builds toward an epic confrontation that sets up future entries. It's immersive, ambitious, and emotionally satisfying. Number 5. Mickey 17. Adapted from Edward Ashton's novel and directed by Bong Joon-ho, Mickey 17 is a darkly funny and deeply existential sci-fi film. The story follows Mickey Barnes, a disposable clone sent on lethal missions to help colonize the frozen planet Nibelheim. Every time he dies, a new Mickey is printed, retaining the memories of the previous one. But when two versions of Mickey accidentally coexist, things spiral into identity confusion, rebellion, and philosophical mayhem. Robert Pattinson gives a standout dual performance, and Bong's direction walks a fine line between biting satire and heavy emotion. The film critiques bureaucracy, the expendability of labor, and the ethics of cloning, though its narrative becomes erratic in the second half. With shifting tones and sprawling ideas, Mickey 17 still captivates with its originality, visual wit, and dark charm. It's one of the most conceptually rich sci-fi movies of the year. Number 4. Death of a Unicorn. This offbeat horror fantasy follows a father-daughter duo who accidentally hit a unicorn with their car, only to discover that its death has dangerous consequences. The unicorn's horn is highly valuable, and soon the family is caught in a spiral of greed, corporate interest, and ancient curses. The film shifts from whimsical to macabre, weaving satire with folklore and magical realism. With striking visuals and a story that unfolds like a twisted fable, the movie critiques humanity's exploitation of the mystical for material gain. Some viewers may find the tonal fluctuations disorienting, but others will appreciate the blend of humor, horror, and fantasy. It's an odd but captivating film that offers a unique cinematic experience, part horror, part morality tale, and wholly unexpected. Number 3. Predator, Killer of Killers. An animated anthology that brings the Predator mythos into new historical settings. This film features 3 standalone stories: a Viking shield maiden battling a predator in ancient Scandinavia, 2 samurai brothers caught in a deadly duel during feudal Japan, and a World War II pilot fighting for survival in the Pacific. Each segment is brutal, fast-paced, and visually distinct, offering fans a fresh way to engage with the franchise. The animation is gritty and stylized, allowing for imaginative creature design and bloody combat without censorship. While the stories are short and sometimes lack depth, they make up for it with relentless action and inventive settings. Killer of Killers is a bold experiment that breathes new life into the series. It's violent, mythic, and surprisingly elegant in its construction. Number 2. Presence, a supernatural psychological thriller that plays with perception and dread. The story centers on a grieving author who retreats to a remote coastal home to escape personal tragedy. But an unseen presence in the house begins influencing her writing and reality. As she spirals into paranoia, flashbacks reveal a deeper trauma tied to the location. Directed with precision and quiet menace, the film builds unease through suggestion, sound, and isolation rather than jump scares. The atmosphere is thick and immersive, and the slow unraveling of truth makes every small movement feel significant. Presence doesn't rely on conventional horror tropes. Instead, it's more introspective and haunting, making it one of the year's standout indie horror entries. Number 1. Sinners. Directed by Ryan Coogler, this gothic southern horror film set in 1930s Mississippi stars Michael B. Jordan in a dual role as twin Smoke and Stackmore. Arriving in a rural village to help protect their family, they find the town plagued by supernatural forces and buried racial tensions. As they uncover the source of the evil, linked to historical injustices and cultural erasure, they must face both ghosts and a system that has long consumed its own. The film blends horror with blues music, folklore, and historical drama, delivering scares alongside soul. Jordan's performance is riveting, capturing both vulnerability and ferocity. Though the plot can feel heavy with subplots, its emotional core and haunting imagery give it a lasting impact. Sinners is not just a horror movie. It's a powerful metaphor for survival and identity. That concludes this edition of Pick 10. Let us know which of these films you're most excited about, and be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of cinema.